Hi, how are you? Welcome to Gold Nugget, JAW_success. If this is your first time to the channel, let me welcome you. If you have already subscribed, let me thank you for joining me on this growth path. I would encourage you to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment, and let me know the impact this video, this channel is having on you. All right. Today, I'll be reading from one of my book, and this is We Want You to Fly, What Your Parents Are Really Trying to Say. This book was born out of a conversation with my niece. You know, she came to me. I didn't see her for a long time, and matter of fact, she grew up out of my presence. But she came to me while we were at the beach one day, and Alexa is her name. She said to me, "Uncle, why is it that mommy always behave like this?" And I was curious. I wanted to know, how is it that your mom always behave? And she said, "Mommy always telling me what to do." And I was like, wow, interesting. I could never have had this kind of conversation with my uncle, my parents back in the day. It wasn't an issue of back chatting, as we would say as Jamaican, to our parents. It is do as you are told. A child must be seen and not heard. If you were told to jump, you would not even be asking how high, you would just be jumping. Because everything for us came out of a kind of environment where you're beaten for everything, basically. And older persons back then believed that we shouldn't explain anything to you. We tell you what to do. We're the ones supplying all of the resources. We're the one who doing everything, and so on and so forth. And in this book, I wanted to bring a kind of balance, or to say to young people that this is the reason we do this. All right. The book basically can be found online. It's on Amazon. It's if you Google it, We Want You to Fly, What Your Parents Are Really Trying to Say, by that little author down there. You will get it. As a matter of fact, I was challenged to start reading from the books. I was challenged because I wrote these books, but I wasn't trying to promote them in any way. Not that I think that they were not good. I grew up on this kind of mindset that if something is good, it will sell itself. And I realized that that's not exactly true in every respect. It first has to garner a kind of following, so to speak, for it to start selling. If nobody gets it in their mouth, it will not be passed on by word of mouth. And if you don't have the big budget, so to speak, to promote it, then it will not be promoted. So you have got to start doing something. And the person who challenged me to start put my material out there, I want to tell you thank you, because it probably was a false sense of pride of not doing it. But this is We Want You to Fly, What Your Parents Are Really Trying to Say. Go get it. It's out there. All right. I'm going to be reading some stuff from you. As a matter of fact, the book is a very wordy book. I must say that. All right. And it covers things in the chapters. Why I wrote the book. Why did I? What is it all about? Eagle. As a matter of fact, on the beach that day, I was saying to my niece that we, as the highest order of anything, we liken ourselves to eagles. And as eagles, we do not want our generation after us to fail. And as a result of that, we will take certain precautions in order to ensure that you guys make it, you accomplish things. The book have a chapter named Feather. What does it mean to have a feather? Plumage. What does it mean to be fat, so to speak? Prey and predator, because there are things out there we want to protect our young ones from. And there is a chapter called The Nest, if you understand what we call the nest. And for us, the nest is home, right? I realize it now that there are young people in their old age that they still live in their parents' home. And it's as if parents never get the opportunity to retire. They never get the opportunity to ride off in the sunset, as it were, because they have grown up children who have not established themselves and still living on the backs of moms and dad. And so when I talk about the nest in this book, it's to help you to understand that there are certain things that we want you to know. Then there is a chapter that's called Treetops and Ridges, Signposts Along the Beaten Path, when we're talking about gratitude, service, love, reputation, rest, execute, time, change, blindness, age, value, help, and then we talk about terminus. So these are the chapters in the book. These are so important. Let me just read, because as I said, this is one of the reading nuggets. So let me read from chapter 5, which is the nest. Each evening when my grandfather returned home from his field, he would sit on the first step of our 6-step front porch, and as he took off his boots, he would say, "Home is where the heart is, and Lord, I thank you for bringing me home safely to where my heart is." My grandfather is now long dead. However, this statement grew with me and has become one that I truly love. Back then, his daily utterance gave me this special feeling when I heard him saying it each day. It said to me he had us on his mind all day and we are in his heart. And that because we are special to him, he did the things he did. That's why we do the things we do for you. You're special to us, young people. This is the same feeling I want to conjure up in you when you think of home. I want you to know and feel that you are special to us, and that the things we do them as your parents because we love you and care for you. We want you to know that you are always in our thoughts and in our hearts. And the only way we can communicate this to you is through our interaction with you at home, the nest. To me, there is nowhere like home, especially if my family is there. I can have an awful day at work, but no one would know this when I get home. I am one of those men who believe that a man's home is his castle, a city of refuge that I can run to. Hence, when I arrive home each evening or late nights, whichever comes first, there is just this feeling of thank God I am safe and I am home where my heart is. This same meaning might not hold true for others because they have not had a home or do not have a home. Nevertheless, my grandfather's saying remains true. Home definitely is where most of us can let down our hair and just be ourselves. If nobody else sees and knows us, the people at home does. And they are the ones that have the intimate scoop on us. They see the real us outside of eating, sleeping, showering, and unwinding. Home is where most of us get to see the people we really and truly love. Yes, we may argue and sometimes fight with each other, but this is the place where we honestly learn how to love. This is the place we want to be. Reality check here. This is, of course, if over time it was not converted into a nightmare. I do not know for anybody else, but if a good book, a real good movie, or a good board game, you will need a bulldozer to get me out of the house to go anywhere, for this is my inner sanctum. However, despite the feeling that the home engender in us, its purpose goes far beyond the much or the sense of safety we feel and experience when we are there. Also, even though the message we as parents want to project concerning home is one that carries a sense of belonging. We do not want you to be ignorant of its true purpose, for home is essential. The home training is training ground. Therefore, just like any other training ground, there will be ranks or authority, rules and regulations to follow and obey. There will be duties, responsibilities, and rights governing its proper functioning. Knowing who has responsibility for and who has duty to or right to, or at which point they are to execute responsibility, duty or right is always key to you hearing. Go ahead. Let me just tell you from now, we as parents have all three and you vacillate between them. In other words, we have the responsibility, we have the duty, we have the right, and you as children, you vacillate. You might not have all the responsibility, you won't have all the duties, but at some point you will take over the reign. The ultimate part of this is telling you that one of the reasons we are trying to train you so well at home, it's because ultimately you are going to be in charge of a home. For now, this is just part of this chapter. Don't want to make it very long, but I'll just read this one little part first with paragraph and then stop for today. Home will not be the safest, cleanest, or most perfect place to exist in, but for sure it will be the place that either make or break you as individuals. There will be conflicts and scars to show that you have been through some things. However, these inescapable and sometimes necessary butting of the heads are in every sense of the word geared towards making the group gel and solidify the bonds between each member of the family, and so causing the family unit to be able to stand the test of time. Therefore, there will be no room for animosity, grudges, timidity, or petulance. I really hate when family conflict escalate into something that it was not supposed to have been in the first place due to ignorance. My hope is that by the time you are through reading this chapter, the proverbial scale would have been removed from your eyes concerning the role of the home. This is essentially because you are going to be the head, or for sure in the running of one in the future. This is JAW saying to you, by all means necessary, create a way out, because in the end, young people, you're gonna have a home, and if you don't learn the lessons of how to run it well from now, while you're under our roof, you will mess up your own. No wonder why there are so many broken homes and broken families, because we have not trained you well. This is we want you to fly, what your parents are really trying to say. I'll read some more as we go on in the future. God bless you. Bye.